Hi there guys, this is Brady from ITF Gaming and we are at Rage 2014. We are currently sitting down with Lesley Phord-Toy, a producer on Assassin's Creed Unity. How are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. How are you finding South Africa thus far?
Oh, it's been fantastic. You know, I was told that South Africa is kind of a smaller market, but Rage has been really impressive so far.
So Assassin's Creed Unity takes place in France, one of the most important parts of French history and Europe as well. Could you tell us more about that?
Well, yes, I mean, it takes place in Paris during the French Revolution. It was a fantastic location and time of history for us to be exploring, you know, all the different kinds of issues that came up at the time, which tend to be quite relevant today, even though we don't really think about it at the time. But yes, I mean, Paris is just a great place to bring Assassin's Creed back to kind of its roots. It's an urban playground, it's a really dense urban playground, and it was also a great opportunity for us to showcase some of the things that we want to bring to Unity, which is really going back to the roots, revamping some of our three core pillars, so navigation, combat, and stealth. Navigation, particularly in the city of Paris, you know, there's so much verticality, there's so much like rooftops and undergrounds, and so what we've done is we've built a city that's practically one-to-one, and we've also now given players the tools to be able to navigate through that city in a really fluid and dynamic way.
And they're also very important figures. Lately we've seen that Napoleon plays a big part in the game, or a part in the game, and Marquis d'Assad. Are there any other notable figures you can tell us about?
Well, I mean, obviously there's Robespierre. He was a big part of the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette makes an appearance. I mean, there's several very well-known historical figures that we chose to include as they played big parts of history.
Okay, I'm assuming there's going to be a few surprises along the way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can probably tell I'm not getting into too many details. We really want to leave some surprises for the players.
Definitely. And we've heard some talk that the traversal system has changed a bit. Can you tell us more about that as well?
Yeah, so I was mentioning before we built the city close to a one-to-one scale, so what we wanted to do was give players a lot more choice and freedom in terms of the way they traverse the city. So in previous Assassin's Creed, the free running and the climbing were almost like two separate systems. We've really combined those two now, so you feel really fluid. Like now you have the controls to go up or do a controlled descent. You no longer have to look specifically for a haystack in order to be able to go down, or risk losing health as you sort of like tumble your way down.
The ground.
So it's really about giving players a system that they can pick up and play right away, but then also has enough depth so that you can master it with enough practice.
We've had some hands-on time, a little bit, but everything's seeming quite nice thus far. And it seems like the series has been heading this way for quite a while now. When exactly did development start on Unity?
Oh, that's a great question. So the Montreal studio is the lead studio on the project, and it was actually the core team from Brotherhood. So Unity started 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And they had a mandate at the time to create, the next fully online next-gen Assassin's Creed. And so they used that opportunity to go back and revamp the entire engine. So the engine has been rewritten practically from scratch to incorporate all the features that they need for online, and particularly for co-op. So now everything can be done in co-op, and we also did a big push to revamp our rendering engine as well, which is why you see things like physically based rendering and global illumination, which gives us the really beautiful light that you see in the game.
And Unity is only on a next-gen at the moment, next-gen and PC. What challenges did you face during the development process, or your team did they face?
Well, there's many challenges that we face. I guess you're talking specifically about developing for next-gen platforms.
Yeah.
I think, the most difficult thing was trying to... so, for example, I mentioned that we started working on this 4 years ago. And back then, there were no, confirmed specs for next-gen hardware. So it was really... trying to project what would the next gen be, and investing in developing those features. So like I said, it was about we know online was a really big part of the end of the last generation. We presume it's going to be a big part of this generation, so that's why we invested in having a co-op early on, investing in our rendering engine early on, because we knew obviously graphics is always improved with every hardware generation.
Of course. And you mentioned co-op. Co-op has been a big focus whenever Unity has been discussed. How did the idea come about for that?
It's actually from the fans. You know, we polled the fans, we reviewed forums. You know, for a really long time, it was our #1 requested feature was co-op. So, and it was something we wanted to do too, because, you know, when you play Assassin's Creed, you get a sense that it could be fun to play as a team.
Yeah.
So that's really what we focused on, was creating experiences so that you could bring your complementary skills, your complementary playstyles together and be stronger as a team.
Well, it's definitely looking good from the co-op footage we've seen thus far. And black box missions, it seems that there's a lot of options when attempting to assassinate your target. Will there be any black box features in the story missions at all?
Yeah, actually, all of our main assassination missions are what we call black boxes.
I see.
So what that means is, you know, we give the player a main objective, you know, assassinate some Templar or something like that. But we let the player approach it any way that they want. We actually called it on the team a 360 level design. So the idea was, let's not constrain the player to play a really specific path or, you know, a linear route. We really wanted to create spaces where players could create their own opportunities, and play to their own play styles to figure out, like, well, you know, maybe I really like to be sneaky, or maybe I like to go loud and, you know, go in all out combat. So we wanted, again, it was mostly about player choice and allowing them to be strategic about how
As many options as possible.
Yeah.
You like.
So I mean, the demo we have here at Rage, you know, it's about infiltrating the Notre Dame. It has 10 possible entrances, and we don't tell you what all those entrances are, because, you know, maybe you've already explored it from before, maybe it's the first time you're exploring it. So it's a discovery process.
Yeah, personally, I like to find things on my own as well, especially when playing open world games like Assassin's Creed. You find something and it's exciting. And some casual questions. Of the upcoming titles, aside from Unity, what are you looking forward to playing as a gamer?
As a gamer, it's actually it's a bit pathetic, actually, because I've been so focused on this game, I haven't really been paying attention to what's been going on. I'm excited about Unity coming out. I'm really excited about Far Cry coming out.
Far Cry.
Yeah.
And currently, I'm sure you must have some free time between the game's production. What's currently spinning in your disk tray?
Well, we're still finishing Assassin's Creed Unity, so I haven't been looking at any other projects yet.
Of course.
Yeah. My next project is Vacation.
Vacation. That's a good way to go. Well, thank you very much for talking to us. We hope you enjoy your stay and the rest of Rage 2014. For the rest of anything Rage related, Assassin's Creed Unity, keep it locked to itfgaming.com.